starting line here of the Masters Open D double.
Heat 2, 4 boats across. Indianapolis Rowing Club in lane 1. Composite crew of Carolina Masters and Chaos in lane 2. Another composite in lane 3 of Alexandria Rowing Club in Minneapolis. And lane 4, some hometown heroes from OKC River Sport in lane 4. And it looks like we have a start of this second heat. 4 boats across, sending 3 onto the... Looks like we have a little bit of steering issue from this angle. It looks like lane 2 is getting a little bit too close to lane 3, and unfortunately they just had to stop. We're out of the breakage zone, so we are just continuing to come right back up. There's still about 850 meters left to race, so hopefully they can get right back on pace, right back on track.
Yeah, you always hate to see that. Again, as we've said before, it is about mitigating errors, so hopefully they can come back from that and get back in the center of their lane. Now, I know this has probably happened to every one of us. If you row long enough, this is just going to happen, where you sort of have to reset maybe in the middle of a race when something happens, or somebody catches a crab, or you have some small disaster out on the water. Now, what are you doing? What's your mindset when you are out there in the water and let's say somebody catches a crab, or you have a steering issue, you have to stop, but you're in the middle of a race past the breakage point and you've got to get back in the race and finish it up?
Now, that's a tough question, Whitney, right? Because it's easier said than done, right?
Very much so.
As a coach, I can talk to my athletes and be like, hey, you just have to remain calm and just be able to put the pass behind you and turn it over and get it back, right? Get yourself right back. You can't dwell on the past, but at the same time, if you're in that moment, right, there's a element of just sheer panic, right? Like, you know what you need to do to be able to kind of come back, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and it takes some time and some experience in situations like that to be able to really bounce back pretty quickly. And these athletes out here in the women's Open D double, right, like, they will have had a lot of life experience compared to, say, if that happens to a novice in high school, right? So to be able to come back from that bobble, you just got to keep a good head on your shoulders. You got to stay optimistic, but you also have to find the ability just to relax. Breathe in, breathe out, and look to the next stroke.
Yeah, that's right. And are you taking another 10 right after to push back in?
Oh, heck yeah.
Move? That's right.
Yeah, like, you gotta figure out a place to put that pent up energy. Like, you can't really keep it in your mind. You got to put it on the blade. You got to put it in the water.
Absolutely. And I think, speaking of moves, we are looking at some that are happening now, again, in lanes 1, 3, and 4. Indianapolis Rowing Club. Lane 3, Alexandria Minneapolis Rowing Club. And lane 4, OKC River Sport, who are quite even, coming across the line at 200 to go. So my guess is, even though first, second, and third will move on to the final, one of them is going to want to make sure that they are across the line first.
What a campaign coming into the red buoys. That's what you love to see, right? Bow ball to bow ball. I love the way that you phrased it earlier. It really is going to depend on who's at the catch, who's at the finish, and just how fast they're going, right? Sometimes it doesn't necessarily need to be a bump in cadence, but you got to have that united effort, especially working with your doubles partner here in this event, to be able just to continue to make that difference, make that jump. And it does seem like it's going to be our friends from lane 3 starting to push a little bit more, but lane 4, they are right there. That's going to be OKC trying to hold down the fort in this event. Home River, that's going to be too close to call. We'll have to check a time team after this event for official results, but I don't know. That's literally going to be a bow ball finish.
You're right about that. That may be a photo finish. It looks like our time difference here is 0.26 seconds. So fast, about a bow ball there, as you said. So 3:33 on the clock, and then just behind that, 0.26 seconds.